Epictetus said, "The first and best victory we can win is to conquer ourselves." With Epictetus's resonant affirmation, we enter the fascinating world of self-knowledge and self-love from the Stoic perspective. In this quote, Epictetus reveals to us that the inner search, the intimate knowledge of our virtues and weaknesses, is the path to the greatest wisdom. Before we dive into the vast ocean of Stoic wisdom, answer me to this question: how much time do you spend getting to know yourself compared to your daily occupations? How does this knowledge, or lack thereof, affect our relationship with ourselves and others? This video is not like the others. It is an invitation to immerse yourself in the process of self-exploration and practical application of the timeless lessons of the Stoics. Get ready to discover how one can cultivate a self-love that transcends external circumstances. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. Chapter 1. Detachment and the Dance of Emotional Freedom. The Stoic teaching of detachment does not advocate cold indifference, but a conscious dance with emotional freedom. Epictetus gives us invaluable guidance. Do not seek that events happen as you want, but that they want to happen as they happen, and you will be happy. This perspective invites us to adopt an attitude of acceptance towards events, freeing ourselves from the tyranny of our expectations. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be different from the one who wronged you." In this emotional waltz, Stoic detachment is presented as a skill that allows us to be in deep relationships without losing our essence. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the best revenge against those who have wronged us is not resentment, but being different, rising above negativity and cultivating unwavering emotional freedom. Imagine a relationship in which you have experienced a strong emotional attachment. Maybe it was a close friendship, a romantic relationship, or a family bond. Now, if you were to apply Stoic detachment, allowing connection to coexist with emotional freedom, how would your perspective change? Stoic detachment would encourage you to accept reality as it is, without resistance. You would recognize that people and relationships are inherently changeable, and that clinging to rigid expectations only leads to disappointment. By practicing detachment, you would direct your energy toward your own personal development instead of over-relying on the relationship. This does not imply selflessness, but rather recognizing that your well-being should not depend exclusively on others. In addition, all this would invite you to see painful experiences as opportunities for personal growth. Instead of plunging into sadness, you'd seek to draw valuable lessons from each situation. Detachment does not prevent empathy and compassion. In fact, it encourages them. By freeing others from your expectations, you allow them to be authentic while cultivating a deeper understanding of their experiences and challenges. Stoic detachment, then, becomes a powerful tool for balancing emotional connection with inner freedom. It invites us to find serenity in the midst of impermanence and to embrace reality with acceptance and strength. Chapter 2. Delving into the art of empathy and compassion from the Stoic perspective. The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, guide us toward the realization that empathy and compassion are fundamental pillars in building meaningful relationships. Seneca reveals to us a treasure of truth. True friendship lies in uniting many hearts into one. From this premise, we will explore how these Stoic virtues can become solid foundations for a self-love that expands to others. Stoic empathy is not only an act of understanding, but also a constant exercise of putting yourself in the shoes of the other. This starts with active listening and full presence. By paying full attention to the words and experiences of others, we immerse ourselves in their reality, thus strengthening our human connection. From the Stoic perspective, we recognize that we all share in the human condition with its joys and sufferings. Practicing empathy involves seeing beyond superficial differences and connecting with the shared essence of the human experience. The Stoics teach us to understand that each person is unique and experiences life differently. Empathy involves acknowledging and respecting these individual differences without judging or imposing our own expectations. Stoic compassion is an act of genuine love and concern for the well-being of others. Marcus Aurelius inspires us. He often looks at the uselessness of human things. He thinks that the life of men vanishes, and that like a trace in the water, so it disappears. Let's dive deeper into how we can apply this compassion in our everyday lives. We must perform acts of kindness and selfless service to others. From offering a helping hand to engaging in meaningful acts of service, every gesture becomes a tangible expression of compassion. We must also avoid judgment and foster understanding. Compassion involves avoiding being quick to judge the actions of others and instead striving to understand their motivations and challenges. Stoics like Epictetus remind us that it is not events that disturb us, but the opinions we have about them. Now let's stop for a moment and reflect together. How might we practice empathy and compassion in our daily interactions to strengthen our relationships? Think of a recent situation where you could have applied these Stoic virtues to enhance connection and understanding of each other. How would incorporating empathy and compassion from the Stoic perspective change the dynamics of that situation? Chapter 3. Stoic gratitude and its impact on self-love. In the very fabric of Stoic philosophy, gratitude stands as a fundamental pillar for the strengthening of self-love. Epictetus's sharp gaze, which points out the capricious nature of human beings, invites us to explore how gratitude can transform our lives and nurture self-love. Let me tell you a story which you have to hear. In the ancient city of Athens, there lived two wise and stoic men, Demetrius and Heraclitus, known for their profound philosophy and their constant practice of gratitude. Both shared a special connection with an elderly merchant named Philo, who, despite his modest resources, always displayed generosity and wisdom. Demetrius, a man from a well-to-do family, used to frequent the market where Philo sold his products. One day, Philo gave Demetrius a small hand-carved statuette. Grateful, Demetrius felt impelled to return the gesture and offered Philo a generous sum of money. However, Philo smiled and rejected the offer, explaining that the real gift was in mutual appreciation and not in material value. Heraclitus, on the other hand, was a hermit who lived on the outskirts of the city, in harmony with nature. Every morning, Philo passed by the road that led to Heraclitus's dwelling and left him a small box with fruit and food. Heraclitus, always grateful, expressed his gratitude to the old man by leaving a note written with wise thoughts and reflections on life. As time passed, both Stoics continued their relationship with Philo, expressing their gratitude in unique ways. Demetrius, influenced by Stoic philosophy, devoted some of his wealth to charitable works in the city, helping those less fortunate. Heraclitus, for his part, shared Stoic wisdom with those who sought his advice, bringing comfort to afflicted hearts. One day, Philo fell ill and called Demetrius and Heraclitus to his side. He thanked them for the lessons of gratitude they had taught him over the years. He handed each of them a box, and when they opened it, they found the statuettes they had exchanged years ago, now worn by time but full of meaning. The moral of this story is that true wealth is found in gratitude and appreciation for each other. Although Demetrius and Heraclitus expressed their gratitude in different ways, they both understood that gratitude is not measured in material riches, but in the value of human connections and shared lessons. The legacy of these two grateful sages endured, reminding us that gratitude is a treasure that enriches both the giver and the receiver. What steps do you think you should take when it comes to being grateful to the universe? Well, to begin with, you must focus on the positive, since Stoic gratitude begins with a conscious focus on the positive instead of the negative. In the midst of life's complexities, focusing on what we're grateful for becomes a powerful antidote to chronic dissatisfaction. This has a lot to do with the ephemeral, since many times we only see negativity wherever we look. Therefore, we must internalize that everything is temporary and that nothing lasts forever. Seneca leads us with the reflection, It is not that we have little time, but that we lose a lot. Stoic gratitude involves acknowledging the transience of life and finding appreciation in every moment, every relationship and every experience, thus infusing our existence with a deeper meaning. Gratitude also has the power to transform adversity into opportunity. When we face challenges, the Stoics teach us to seek valuable lessons and growth instead of falling into despair. This perspective of gratitude transforms trials into opportunities to strengthen our self-love. Now I invite you to reflect. Think of 3 things you are grateful for today. How does this affect your perspective on your life, and how does it strengthen your self-love? Consider how the consistent practice of gratitude can become a powerful tool for nurturing and flourishing your self-love in all aspects of your existence. Final chapter: the value of self-discipline in building self-love. In the vast terrain of Stoic philosophy, self-discipline stands as an essential cornerstone for strengthening and cultivating self-love. Following the words of Epictetus, who tells us that the first and best victory is to conquer oneself, we will explore how self-discipline can become a guiding beacon in our daily habits, thus forging a robust self-love. The first factor to take into account is conscious decision-making. Stoic self-discipline begins with making conscious decisions in every aspect of our lives, from the most trivial to the most significant choices. Every decision is like a blow to the sculpture of our character. Every conscious choice carves the shape of our inner being. It is also essential that we develop a resistance to immediate pleasure. The Stoics teach us to resist the temptation of immediate pleasure in favor of long-term goals. Self-discipline involves giving up instant gratification to achieve more significant achievements, thus strengthening our self-esteem and self-love. Immediately after having developed that resistance to immediate pleasure, we will move on to the cultivation of positive habits. Self-discipline is manifested in the creation and maintenance of positive habits. From practicing daily meditation to consistently dedicating yourself to learning, every habit cultivated with discipline contributes to building strong self-love. Seneca's quote, "No man is wise enough on his own," reminds us of the importance of humility on the path of self-discipline. Recognizing that there is always room to learn and improve is a key component of Stoic self-discipline. This humble recognition drives us to constantly strive to be better and to hone our ability to make conscious choices. Dear Stoic friend, how might we incorporate Stoic self-discipline into our daily habits to strengthen our self-love? Think of a small decision you can make today, a conscious choice that will help sculpt the shape of your character. How would this decision affect your self-esteem in the long run? Self-discipline, as the Stoics teach us, is not only an act, but a work of art in constant creation. In the closing of this revealing journey through the Stoic teachings on self-love, it becomes clear to us that authenticity, self-discipline and empathy are powerful tools for sculpting a strong and resilient inner being. I invite you to take these teachings beyond the show. How will you incorporate self-discipline, gratitude, and empathy into your life today? What will be your first step to strengthening your self-love? This isn't just the end of a video, it's the beginning of a new phase in your journey to a fuller, more authentic life. Share in the comments your personal commitment and be part of this community that seeks the art of loving yourself in a Stoic way. Thank you for embarking on this philosophical journey. If you find value in these lessons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to continue exploring the depths of Stoic philosophy together until our next meeting, where we will continue to discover the art of self-love.